All right, so shooting off the hip here a little bit, but so let's talk about what kind of steered this design. So one of the major pieces was this sofa. I already had that sofa. I love that sofa. I did not want to change that sofa because it works perfectly for this space. But it's kind of that tawny type of tan. So that was something I had to contend with because you can't just throw anything with it. So I really worked hard at making sure that the colors worked well with that sofa color. The other thing was the flooring. The flooring was existing. So those two pieces were like, have to work with that. Everything else though, I mean, it's paint, you know, the stain color, again, was selected to work well with the tones in this sofa. So, you know, a lot of times what you have to do in your design work is to have an inspiration piece or something like hard, like you have to work against. And for me, it was the color of this sofa. The inspiration piece was probably, believe it or not, just this little sign. I had that little sign before and I just loved it, and it seemed to kind of embody the spirit of, you know, how we live when we're in this motor coach. I had a couple of other signs too that I was able to keep because, again, I didn't want to change everything around us. I mean, this is us. I mean, like, let's live a big adventure, you know, things that we love, you know. I wanted it, I didn't want to pick somebody else's design and put it into my space. I wanted it to be us. Adventure it waits. So those were the three signs I already had that I loved. Also, we had this fireplace and TV already. Everything else is permanent that was here before. It's just been painted out to go with those themes. So as far as coloring works, I told you I had the sofa and the flooring to work with, the sofa being the biggest one. So I started working with paint colors, and everybody knows, okay, you pick out your paint swatches. I have like a designer kit from Sherwin-Williams, so it allows you to get, like, you know, a decent little paint swatch. You know, they're bigger than the chips that you get at, you know, down at the store or whatever, but they're still fairly small. But I picked out some of these colors, and believe me, I had probably 50 to begin with. But I came across a comment somewhere, somebody talked about it, talking about Samplize, Samplize, and that allows you to order any paint color from Sherwin-Williams, all of the different paint manufacturers. Any paint color that you have a swatch of, you can order a large, this is like 12 by 12 sample of the color, okay? And it's a sticker. That's why this one looks kind of crazy already, because I peeled it off. And you can stick it straight onto whatever surface that you're looking for. So I ordered this one and put it up there, and it allows you to get a much better, like, feel for that color in your space as compared to the small one, like I showed you earlier. You know, putting that same thing up there, you're like, yeah, it looks great. Well, believe it or not, that one that I just showed you a second ago, this one, I was originally going to use this. But once I got it in this larger piece and I stuck it up, I just was like, I'm not digging it. I didn't like it at all. Likewise, I ordered the green and these other colors that I just showed you, and was like, I'm in love with them. And that's how you know. And so you can order these for they're like $5 or $6 a piece, and they were here within like days. And you can try out the paint colors that you're looking at, and without actually buying even the small samples and painting them up. These come, like I said, they have every color under the sun. It's a very simple process. So that really helped a lot. And so the green played super nice with the sofa. And then I needed something just to kind of be neutral, because let me tell you, this green, like everything was neutral before I had painted. The other color is called taupe white. The green is called dried thyme. Both from Sherwin-Williams. The taupe white I've used in my house, and I absolutely adore it. It's a very soothing color, not too stark and bright. But when I added in the green for the cabinetry, that's a lovely green, but it's a lot of color, so I can only imagine if I had had this much darker or, any other color, it would just been like screaming at me, so what I think that if you're going to use a darker, more prominent color like this green, you need to use it in splashes, don't go crazy with it. Again, so once I kind of landed on the green and the taupe white, I was like, what am I going to do with that, as far as like curtains and rugs, all your textiles, And I, again, just really kind of kept on coming back to this picture, this little simple picture, and I was like, well, what do I love about that picture? I mean, the simpleness of it, I guess. It's just black and white. So that's what you see. I found curtains. It's not a stark white. It's like kind of a off white. Again, just kind of a real simple, and they're kind of adventure feeling, Indian kind of prints to them. Again, I found pillows that kind of went that direction, and so you can kind of see how it starts to kind of shape up. You have to contend with the things that you have to work with, and then you can start layering on top of it what you want. One of the other design elements was the brick that we did. We painted that out, the taupe white. So all of the cabinetry is the taupe white. And so that kind of just makes a nice palette, very light. I painted the ceiling just like the straight white color that the paint, it's not tinted at all. It's just whatever the paint was from Sherwin-Williams. I always call him Sherman too. I don't know why. I think we're really tight buds or something. It's Sherwin-Williams, but anyway, that's just a straight up white. And so that really brightened the ceiling and made the space look larger. And then we just added in these little like faux little, I don't want to call it a beam, but like the little slats, just some kind of visual interest. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the idea. The other thing, kind of going back in this space, we added this shiplap. Again, it's that white and black from the original inspiration piece, right? So that white and black kind of is a kind of ties everything together. Black accents. This is a rubbed oil bronze, as well as the one in the kitchen faucet. Black, so that became kind of the kind of thing that kind of ties together. Even this is, white, so everything feels cohesive. You don't feel like you have a jarring effect. The bathroom and the water closet, I should say, we had, again, all of these window treatments in every RV is always that black trim. So I guess that was another thing I was working against, because I certainly wasn't going to paint all those things. So black became a prominent feature, you know. I think that's why I kind of went this route in the bedroom area. Painted out the base of the bed with the black. It kind of makes it just disappear. The bedding, white. This whole bedroom I painted with the taupe white. It looks darker back here though than it did in the open, the cabin area, because it's much more open. But I had to go light here in order for this place not to feel like a cave. The scariest part was painting this black stuff. I don't know if you've painted black before, but it's horrifying. Especially if you paint over something that's light, and this was previously white, so, or a shade of white, and so that first coat that went up was like just horrible, you know. But as you paint the second coat, you're like, okay, now we're getting some traction, and you know, the touch-ups on the third coat, you're golden at that point. So I really like how it turned out. I wish you luck in your design adventures. I think you just kind of have to find your anchor, you know. So I hope that helps you out with your design choices. I know that I covered a lot of different territory. There's a lot of different ways you can go, but you really need to figure out what your anchor is. Something that you're going to kind of hold to, some type of theme that's going to help steer you in your direction of your what you're looking for. Otherwise you can kind of just be like all over the map, because there's so many beautiful things out there. But to get a cohesive look, you really need to like pull that in and have that anchor, like I said. So enjoy the process. I spend a lot of time in a space thinking about what I like about it and what I want to kind of neutralize or whatever. So it's kind of the same as how we do makeup, you know. We say we want to draw out the eyes, I want to draw out my lips, those are good places on my face, but maybe my skin tone I need to work on. So it's the same thing. Figure out what your mascara and your lipstick colors are, you know, and go from there. Enjoy the process though. There's a lot of fun to it, and you're going to really enjoy it in the end. Bye.